Hey everybody, it's a train parkour update, February 15th, 2021, 22. New update is Alphabet Marathon, free order Alphabet Marathon. So I've just hit an X. You can see in the upper right corner, the UI has started. The goal of this is in any order, hit all signs to cover the full alphabet by first letter. My record is about 8 minutes, 500 some seconds. The route varies every time. It's just too hard to remember every single one. But this time I started at X because there's only one X. It's also like pretty necessary to hit this area for the O and the Z after the X there. But what usually happens is just forgetting one or the other of the important things you need to do and having to do like a very expensive last run at the end. Things like N's, H's usually cause problems. I's are tough. V I usually get advance. So this will reveal my route. I don't think it's the most important thing to keep a route secret because I haven't put that much work into this one. Like this is the most obvious one that just came up based on what I'm familiar with. If someone were to just spreadsheet it out, I'm sure they could come up with something better. The best route will change over time as more X signs come up. I mean, one unintended consequence of this is that I'm much more aware of X and U signs. But I think that's a price to pay, and like I think it's worth paying as the number of potential marathons. So okay, what marathons do we have now? So right now we just have alphabetical ordered, which you can see is running here. Fixed alphabet it's called. So this will only advance if you hit the letters in order with a B next. And alphabetical free. We will soon have alphabetical reverse, which is, not interesting. But we will also have 4 sign, 10 sign, 20 sign, 50 sign, 100 sign, which the number of possibilities is just a lot for how you would run such a thing. So, okay, what have I got? I've got to get V, I got V, I got to get D, and then R over there, and then I. So yeah, I'm very excited about like some sort of intermediate length, like 10 sign, 20 sign. Plus, there's going to be stuff like 10 sign must include X. So, for example, if I find that no of the leading 10 sign runs ever contain a certain sign, I could just say, okay, there's a new marathon type. 10 sign must include this. And this can apply to any sign. So basically, to really force exploration of the space. Okay, so we're gonna get Giddy. No, we better get I and then J. For Julia here, we can get, yeah. So the development of this has gone through numerous stages. It's currently implemented in sort of a reasonable way. At first it was very bad, and there's an in-progress rewrite that's not done yet. That'll make it much better and more generic and just like suitable to relatively easily add new marathons. So what traits do marathons have? So they have a judgment criteria. Oh, I was supposed to get I, wasn't I? It's so easy to forget. They have a judgment criteria. So when you hit a sign, you have to judge, does anything need to be done as a result of hitting the sign? Like for a 10 sign marathon, it's like check if you've already hit the sign, and if you haven't, increment the current counter. Visually update that as well as keep a record of when and what order you hit it in. For later signs, this can be quite a bit more complicated. And the initial implementation was not very generic. But I've been using Luau a lot, which is pretty awesome. Just figuring out how it works to add typing. So rather than just doing these things with like bare objects that are very hard to manage, I have a lot of support. Okay, so I can get H and L here. Actually, I'll just go directly for L and I'll get Haldane on the other side. That'll be faster. It's interesting, like some letters that could have been very hard, like W, there just so happen to be a lot of them. So if there's 3 W's, Weathertop, Weir, and the other W, waffle, very near each other. I mean, you take some, lose some, but that's definitely the W zone. So far people haven't done the marathons very much, which is fine. Like, I mean, they're not obvious enough. I think they're just too long. And also you don't get any badges for them yet. I've got a bunch of ideas for badges, maybe 50 ideas, like everything associated with the marathon should get a badge, obviously. Okay, so I'm gonna need an N pretty soon. I think natural selection is a good end point. So I've really done, okay, so what are we doing for the end here? So T I'll just pick up somewhere, I don't know where. There's lots of S's if I can find one. I've got an H. I need to go get unique and Yocto. And then ST, and then B. So B, N are currently unsolved, and I don't know where to go. There's one over here. Natural selection is a little bit far over there behind Ra area. B, LA River Dipole, Cloud Chamber, Chaparelli, Frog King, Bergamot. Yeah, so there'll be one up here. So go over here to unique. So this is a path between these regions is usually the way it goes. I have no doubt that my users can beat me horribly with very obvious techniques to catch more signs and like things that I'm missing, etc. But so far, yeah, there's no actual like speedrunners of this. There's not much of a competition yet. Okay, so there's Tosa up there. I probably should just get it. The funny thing here is like you always have this feeling that you're missing something because you're like, no matter what you leave to last, I mean, you've left it to last. So it sucks. Let's do steps of infinity over here while I'm here. This is actually perfect. Steps of infinity, Yocto, natural, and we're done. So this was, I think my record's 488. So I probably should get like a 30-second world record here. Which in the scope of things, it's like a less than 10%. So world records are already down to within 10% per time. Pretty soon they'll go to like a few percent. Although this is totally unoptimized. So we'll see what goes on in the future. I think that all right, 439. So this is the top records. Platform 144 did a proper run. Hyper Fantasies kind of randomly did one as they played, and Theodoric also. And then Alphabetical Fix, the only runner, is me. And I got like, oh no, I think somebody actually, that's not true. I think people did very good runs of that. I think somebody got like a 500-second run of Alphabetical Fix, which is insane because it's like much, much harder. So whoever did that could just kill Alphabetical Free. So yeah, my total time there is about 240, 300, bang, bang. So it's like 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay. So let me demo the other way to play. Now, it's all about sign ownership. So I'm actually doing okay here. I need 5 world records to take over 3rd place. Maybe fewer if I take specific ones, although it's very hard to beat these guys. Tenochtitlan is so the other day I was here and there was like 1 million guys running just this short race to Eno. Something I've noticed is people really like to intensely run short races that require like just one trick. It's a bit hard to hit that. Okay, I'm way behind. So here's a new feature I want to add. At the bottom of the sign, imagine if there was a button like try again and you click it and you teleport back to where you started. Wouldn't that be nice? And quite easy to implement. Like we have the tech already, pretty safe. So I think this would be good because it would allow people who want to concentrate to do so more without having to abort. It also probably should apply right from the beginning of the race. So as soon as you hit the sign down here, there's a button. Actually, it should move over there, but yeah. But I still think the marathon work needs to be done before then. Okay, so where should we do? Wow, 2.5 seconds to Eno. Okay, I get how he did that. That's obvious. The thing I'm most happy about the sign thing is popular. So there's none here. Who's going to have a popular? I would guess this guy will have a popular. No popular yet. I guess it's too new. Not enough local exploration. Let's go over to Steps of Infinity. That's got to have one. So popular is defined as the races which don't fit under the 10 closest or the 8 closest. Those races are probably very popular. Yeah, those races who don't fit, which do have at least 10 runners. Okay, so the popular here is Tenochtitlan and Plains. Plains, because it's a common thing, it's like over there. People love to run to Plains. I've got third. And Tenochtitlan, I think because I'm not sure. It's interesting why so many people did that. Let's give it a try. So it's a bit annoying that I can't see what time I need while I'm running. Like, in my mind, I've already decided what I'm doing, but the UI isn't helping me contextualize my goal. Oh, Mechanus. So Mechanus is way down there. Kind of a dead area. Or did I reset the time? No, I didn't reset properly. All right. So it's pretty important to let your jump timer time out. All right. Let's just go. No, let's start again. All right. I think you got like 11 seconds. So yeah, I already actually know where I'm going, and it would be really nice if I could have like split times, or like, I know my speed down here in the lower left. Imagine if I was live indicating my actual achieved speed from source versus the required, so that sort of on a brute force level, you could tell how you're doing. Okay, what else is good? So what's a likely? So really I need to modify this. I shouldn't just include current popular. I should actually include 3 most popular. But the query is a little bit harder for this, so I haven't done it yet. And there's an efficient way to do it, which would require some overhead, which doesn't exist yet. All right, so my goal here, probably down to junior egg, is the most natural target, just because like conceptually it's related. Let's cut across here. One thing I did recently is lengthen the zoom distance allowed by about 10%, which really makes a big difference. Like the fact that you can see so far away now. It's crazy. The other thing I really want to do, and thinking about it now, it's not hard, is, it would be a major, it didn't even hit it. It'd be a major database load, so it didn't matter that I didn't hit it, I was way behind. Imagine if, when I'm running from junior egg, I continuously look up the world records to the nearby signs as I pass them. And then the ones for which I can get a world record, I display. So I've talked about this before. All right, so where to go? So nobody ran to Remus, 18.3 seconds. Let's do that. So I think it's one of these. Which one is it? I think it's the far one. No, it's the near one. I really like these coils going across here. It's so cool. It's also interesting just how close people are to each other. Thinking about this, it would be nice. How can this be improved? Imagine if, I just realized I use fixed width font in this case, but I don't use fixed width here or here. That's probably an improvement to do that. I'll think about that. Let me take a note of that. But yeah, it's remarkable how, let's say fixed width. And more generally, it's pretty annoying that on the top 10 list, the current players list, this text is just like all jammed up here. I wish that there was a nice way to lay out this type of thing. But yeah, okay. So players often take a similar route. So let's go to the place that's El Rojo down there to the 1.7. Let's go to motherboard. So this one's all about accuracy. I already run this race, so it's very disappointing when you've already run a race. You're not even really doing anything when that happens. Ararat. So Ararat is not on the list, but it's like the obvious place to go. All right, so we need to get back to civilization a bit. This is kind of a newish area where I think sign density is not high enough around here, so people haven't really explored. There's also never been start down here, so it doesn't have that like crazy density of people having had time and opportunity to easily do a bunch of runs from there by just starting there every day and doing the most obvious run. In general, you know, I think my theme has been pretty consistent about the direction I want the game to go in. The run quality is still primarily determined by angle rather than any kind of meta decision about managing your state, where state is like your momentum and your direction. A game like Super Blocky Ball, from my very brief exposure to it, still quite heavily relies on momentum. So you don't just make the locally optimal, like here I could just do this. I could just like turn on a dime, right? You don't just make the locally optimal decision all the time in that game because it's not globally optimal. But in this, you literally can just go as close to in a straight line as you can. And, you know, most of the time, barring gross obstacles, most of the time you'll do pretty well. Which is kind of a bummer, right? Like, I want it so that you really have to think about which way you go. And I want it so that different areas of the map are more likely to be used. Oh, there's so many popular from here. All right, so muzzle on 14 seconds. So these are all things that in my account I will have run during development. But I used to just clear my account so much. I've started from scratch ticket-wise many times. But once I started to really like to play the game, I quit doing that. Valgrind. So I wish I knew how good these records were. 10 seconds to 3D cube. That's probably pretty good. I probably won't make top 10. Because this must have been a really popular run. Oh, the third player is pretty good. So this is not a blown out record at all. This is a very reasonable record. I really like to look at this and then just pick one that I think is good. I don't like the zone. It's too far. There's not enough down there. Oh, where am I going? Cornu. I like Cornu. I think probably artistically this is one of my better areas. It's quite dense, but it feels like a little bit real. I don't know. With the towers and stuff. Look at the castle. You know, got some layout here. Oh, there's a double path there. I hadn't realized this double path. And then there's the Excalibur entry. You know, I really like this effect where it goes around this tower. It would be cool if there was something up there. But I don't want to just keep putting things on top of things. You know, that's like my default go-to thing. There can't always be something on top of everything. Because to get up there, you have to like artificially make it so that there's a path and the path feels unnatural. I'd prefer if there either like isn't a path at all and you just can't get there, that would really frustrate people. Or if there's a path, but it's just accidental. Like this game is not about me designing paths that I want to make people run. It's about people discovering and finding paths on their own. And just embracing the fact that you can't control and plan for what people are going to do. People are going to do the thing they like to do. in a lot of top 10s here. So I think an interesting statistic. Oh, is that a bug? Hey, it's a bug. What's going on? Why can I not see server? I'm disconnected from the server. All right, good time to end the video. It's been fun, guys. New features coming out.